Hey there, I'm Tony DeCopel. This is The Uplift. We got a great show for you, a great cast of characters as well. Among them, these, a boy lucky enough to catch a foul ball at a Phillies game, happy enough not to keep it. The good reason he left the stadium empty-handed. Also, a broadcast pioneer named Belva Davis, a legendary journalist, got her start at CBS News Bay Area and made history. Also, the artist creating a love letter to the Big Apple. David Begnaud takes a deep dive into Humans of New York. It profiles everyday people, and he takes a peek behind the camera. Plus, meet the dad who writes handwritten letters to his kids in an act of love. How he began to spread that love all around the world. And if you notice anything different around here, we are in our new studio. So let's take a little look around and a look back at the history of our iconic broadcast center. All that and more heartwarming news. You're watching The Uplift. Welcome to The Uplift, the show that lifts you up for the next 30 minutes, at least you and me as well. And let's begin here. A story about a boy who caught a foul ball at a Phillies game, but then left the stadium empty-handed. And if you've seen those viral videos lately of people snatching balls, usually adults taking them from kids, you're probably thinking the worst. But don't worry. That boy says he left very, very happy. Here's Steve Hartman with the story.
As you can tell from the mad scrambles, just about everyone at a Major League Baseball game wants a foul ball.
Oh my God!
And 9-year-old Jamison Pennings is no exception.
I would just be super happy.
In fact, Jamison so wanted a ball, earlier this month, his parents bought tickets to a Philadelphia Phillies game along the third base line, down near where the ball girl sometimes tosses foul balls into the crowd. And sure enough, fifth inning, that's exactly what happened. Parents James and Eve Pennings.
He sat and he cherished it, and at one point, Dad, is that where the bat hit? Oh yeah, that's where the bat hit.
And you thought he would cherish that forever?
Forever, yeah.
But forever only lasted a few innings.
I'm still astounded.
I'm very proud of him.
No.
Unbeknownst to his parents, earlier in the game, Jamison overheard a woman talking to that same ball girl. The woman was hoping to get a foul ball for her mother, Donna Morey, who was at the game celebrating her 80th birthday.
Unfortunately, getting anyone on the field to toss you a ball is a charm offensive that heavily favors the young. Jamison knew the odds of an 80-year-old getting a ball were slim to none. So he walked over to her, treasure in hand.
I was so shocked. I just didn't know what to say. It was unbelievable to me. It really was. And I said, "Why are you giving it to me?"
I thought, she is way older and she can't come to many more games and I can go to more and get many more balls. So
Donna accepted the gift.
It symbolizes goodness in this world.
And Jamison is so glad she did.
So good to see you again.
Because he says he's actually happier without it.
Part of me says this doesn't make sense, though. You had a ball, you gave it away, now you're left with nothing.
true, but I will leave feeling really good about myself. So, does it really matter that I left without a ball?
How's that for a game-winning sacrifice?
I have a gift for you. Let me go grab it.
Steve Hartman on the road
For the ball.
in Philadelphia.
Thank you.
Coming up, how about this? We honor a broadcast legend who got her start at our very own CBS News Bay Area. The story of history-making Belva Davis, who was the first African-American woman to get a reporting job on the West Coast. That's up next. If you are a frequent and focused watcher of The Uplift, you may have noticed something a little bit different. We are in a new studio. CBS Mornings recently moved back to the iconic CBS Broadcast Center here on 57th Street, and we took The Uplift along with us. Now, to mark the occasion, how about a look back at the historic building with Jared Hill and me.
Welcome to the brand new home of CBS Mornings here in the iconic CBS Broadcast Center. We're getting a sneak peek in between rehearsals, so let's see what we can find. Tony DeCopel. What's up? How's it going?
Everything's going. I mean, we're moving. We got a brand new studio that's in the same space as the old studio.
The move back to the broadcast center put CBS Mornings, CBS Evening News, CBS 24/7, and so many of the journalists who make all these shows happen once again inside the same four walls.
Journalism is a team sport. Chatting through stories that are complex, that have nuance, hearing other people's perspective on things in the building before you go out of the building is so valuable.
In 1952, CBS purchased the building that takes up nearly an entire city block on the west side of Manhattan, turning the broadcast center into a pillar of television production. But the building's origins a bit earthier. It was originally a milk processing plant. In 1964, dairy equipment was swapped for news desks when CBS moved in. The building, described as the largest self-contained radio and television production center in the United States, even equipped with recording studios for Columbia Records. The technology may have changed over the years, but the dedication to strong journalism still rings true.
Just being in the building where there's buzz and there's energy, it reminds you that this is an important job and it's a lot of fun too.
CBS Mornings launches its first day here in its new home today. From the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Jared Hill.
Belva Davis, a pioneer in broadcast journalism, recently passed away at the age of 92. Belva made history back in the day, becoming the first black woman to be hired as a television journalist on the West Coast. And she got her start at KPIX, CBS News Bay Area. Here is Sarah Donchi with more on the legacy of Belva Davis.
Eyewitness News with Belva Davis, Dave Fowler.
Good afternoon, I'm David Fowler.
And I'm Belva Davis. People all over the Bay Area grew up hearing the name Belva Davis. She became the first black woman to be hired as a TV journalist on the West Coast when she took a job with KPIX in 1966. When Davis started as a reporter here, she learned the art of broadcasting on the job.
I had learned to write because I was writing for Jet magazine and weekly newspapers, and I'd learned to speak because I was on radio stations, you know, giving the news or doing women's news or whatever I was allowed to do on radio. And so you put the two together, so all I had to learn to do then was stand still for the camera.
Davis covered all kinds of news, politics, culture, and she was not shy to place herself at the heart of the story, no matter where it took her.
I guess the nicest part about going up 700 feet in the sky in sort of a cage like this is that somehow you don't really feel frightened because you know that the cage that you're standing in has carried tons of steel up and down for months.
That was Davis riding to the top of Sutro Tower in 1972, just before it opened. She covered the likes of Muhammad Ali, Martin Luther King Jr., the Hearst family. She even traveled to Cuba and met with Fidel Castro. Davis covered countless other big stories, and being a barrier breaker was not without its costs. Davis said she was often asked to leave news conferences because people couldn't believe that she, a black woman, was a real reporter.
It made for an exciting day because I never knew whether I'd benefit by being female and black or whether I would be ridiculed.
Over the course of her TV career, Davis earned multiple Emmys, reporting, anchoring, and working on her own series. And she became one of the most respected journalists in the country. She went on to work at 2 other Bay Area TV stations until she retired. Her family tells KPIX she died Wednesday morning after a long illness, though her name and her legacy will no doubt leave its mark on journalists for decades to come.
This is Belva Davis, KPIX News at Sproul Hall. Belva Davis for Eyewitness News in Richmond. Belva Davis for Eyewitness News at UC Berkeley. This is Belva Davis, KPIX News in San Francisco.
Coming up, meet a dad who shares his love with his kids by writing them letters each and every day. And now he is spreading the love with the so-called Dad Project. Plus, a deep dive into the popular Humans of New York project. The man behind the lens. Who is that mystery man? He captures photos of everyday New Yorkers. And what's next for this fella? David Begnaud has those answers and more ahead.
I think I heard of you.
Yeah. For me, a big thing is, what does God want me to do? And my answer to that is use my work to somehow provide comfort, to somehow improve the lives of other people, to create moments of connection, as opposed to how far am I? How much further can I go?
The words that are coming into my mind right now as I listen to this are thank you, pain. thank you paint.
Yeah, and because I say if you can find somebody's struggle, you can find their genius, because you find the thing that they've pushed up against, they've thought about, that has kept them awake the most at night. When you find that spot in somebody, you normally find the thing that they can tell the world that's different than everybody else.
Three kids in Ohio got lucky enough to have a father who professes his love for them daily with handwritten letters, pen to paper the old-fashioned way, to remind them of just how much he loves them. Well, they thought, why keep the love within the family? Why not share Dad's huge heart with the world through the Dad Project? Nikki Batiste has their story.
Buzz Ecker is a man of letters, a lot of letters. One a day to his three kids over the course of their lives, 3,500 each. He started writing to his daughter Rosie Pollock while she was at summer camp. Pollock thought the letters meant so much to her, maybe others would want one too.
Now he would like to write you a letter. He would like to be your dad.
The response to their Dad Letter project has been overwhelming. Thousands of people have reached out to Ecker.
I'm told everything about them. I'm told why they don't have a father, why they've cut their father off, or why their father has cut them off.
At his Ohio home, starting around 4 a.m., Ecker writes back letter after letter.
We're currently 3,000 letters behind. We get more responses a day than we can possibly keep up with.
Some of the letters bring him to tears.
You are, Ned, a new papa to 3 girls.
There are so many requests for letters. Pollock has enlisted other dads to help, 20 of them.
There are many people who are suffering and they need love in their lives, and I want to provide it for them.
Coming up, you may have seen Humans of New York on social media. It's a project that profiles everyday people from the Big Apple. But do you know who does the picture taking? The man behind the camera. Meet this mystery photographer next. Humans of New York is a photo series that profiles people in the Big Apple, everyday folks around town. It's captivated audiences for 15 years now. It's sharing the stories of strangers on social media. But viewers may be left wondering, who's this guy behind the camera? A mystery man. David Begnaud met the photographer and got a peek at his newest project. He calls it a love letter to New York.
Excuse me. I was wondering if there's any way I could take your photograph.
You may have heard of Humans of New York, the firestorm photography project that began in the infancy of social media and since has featured thousands of photos and stories of everyday people.
I'm actually good. Okay, sorry. No, that's no problem. Don't apologize. No is the most common answer I hear.
But even if you're familiar with the work, it is likely that you aren't as familiar with the man behind it, Brandon Stanton.
What is your biggest challenge in life right now?
My biggest challenge right now is to stay in the moment.
Brandon will often spend an hour or two with someone, making them comfortable enough to tell their story.
I had a situation in the last year with my son. It definitely challenged me as far as having a faith that that everything's going to be okay.
What we learned about Brandon after spending a couple of hours with him
I'm an artist and photographer. I run a website called Humans of New York. It's also
is the man who is able to compel people to share their most vulnerable life moments, often struggles to do the same.
You did say, it is interesting that I constantly am exposing other people's lives.
Well, and expose is a strong word.
Okay, expose. What would you say? How do you say it? Where do you find the irony?
Yeah, well, it's that I'm constantly pressing for greater and greater amounts of specificity. Whereas with my private life, but again, I think a lot of it comes...
Well, finish it with my private life, what?
Well, with my private life, there is a boundary across which we do not go.
But on this day, we did go there.
When I was 19 years old, I was a real screw-up. I flunked out of college. I was a drug addict, very much so. And I kind of hit rock bottom. I was working as a host at Applebee's, watching all my other friends go to college, and just feeling very much like a failure.
What kind of drug were you addicted to?
Adderall was my bad one.
Eventually, Brandon got clean, and with that came an opportunity to work in finance in Chicago.
When I got that job, I clung onto that job and that title and that identity. And when it started going bad, my mental health really started going down because I needed that to cover up so much shame about who I was. Yes?
Gotcha.
And so when I finally got fired, I had this moment where I was like, okay, all of this thought energy that I had trying to be somebody is now dissipated. And I can ask myself, what do I want to do? I got the camera as kind of a life preserver.
At 26 years old, Brandon moved to New York with the ambitious goal to take 10,000 photos of the humans who live here.
I'd only been photographing for 6 months. A year later, millions of people were following it.
With millions of followers also came millions of dollars.
We have managed to, raise $20 million for various causes, and but I think by far the most valuable point of I don't think my contribution and impact in the world will ever be measured by money.
But money is part of humans' legacy because it's that money that's transforming lives.
I have this regular, and he walked in and she got up and she stood her heels on the rung of the bar stool and she was like, "You saved her, you saved her." And then she goes, "And you saved all of us as well." And she was just...
We did our interview with Brandon at Mary O's Pub in the East Village of Manhattan, a business he helped to save during the pandemic after featuring the owner, Mary, on Humans of New York. The mother of 6 was known locally for making delicious scones, and Brandon suggested they start a fundraiser to sell them. $1 million worth of orders later, Mary went on to open a now successful scone shop.
So important, like what he did.
Mary's story is not unique.
Humans of New York gave me a megaphone that went internationally. He raised almost $1 million for us in 6 days.
Everybody knows us, and I think he just kind of exploded it. People say it all the time, I saw you on Humans of New York.
Now, around 10,000 interviews and photos later.
Can I feel it?
Yeah, and it looks exactly like that.
I love the look of it.
Brandon has come out with his 5th book, Dear New York, and all proceeds are being donated.
So this book, very simply put, is about what?
It's my love letter to New York, I guess, through the stories of its people.
You feel like the vessel?
I'm trying to be.
Here's my 2 cents. Without Brandon's struggles, there probably would have never been a Humans of New York. Pain can be our greatest teacher and our best purpose driver.
How would I describe Brandon? I look at Brandon, the Humans of New York guy, and then I look at Brandon Stanton, the human being. Give me a minute.
Whatever he's getting out of this, I wish him 10 times more, because he's a good man trying to do good things, and that's rare.
I think I heard of you.
Yeah. For me, a big thing is, what does God want me to do? And my answer to that is use my work to somehow provide comfort, to somehow improve the lives of other people, to create moments of connection, as opposed to how far am I? How much further can I go?
The words that are coming into my mind right now as I listen to this are thank you, pain. Thank you, pain.
Yeah, and because I say, if you can find somebody's struggle, you can find their genius, because you find the thing that they've pushed up against, they've thought about, that has kept them awake the most at night. When you find that spot in somebody, you normally find the thing that they can tell the world that's different than everybody else.
That is our show. I hope it brightened your day. I hope it lifted you up. If for some reason didn't, go ahead and press play again. Those reruns are free. I'm going to float away and find some good news.